Matador.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to part 15, the finale of our Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster 100% walkthrough. We are getting the Platinum Trophy by the end of this video. We're picking up right where we left off. We're still in that Interdimensional Rift in the castle part, and we have just beaten the Azumagia boss, and now we're going to continue on from the Consecrated Circle. So if you go all the way to the right side here, you can enter this jail cell with 3 wizards, and they actually turn out to be enemies. The Alteroit, this is that magician-looking guy over here, and he's not too difficult. His main thing is that he likes to eject someone from battle, and that is a little bit annoying, but if you can take him out quickly enough, then he might not be able to do that to you. If he does it, well then you've got only 3 characters, and then maybe only 2 characters to finish him off. So the speed is the name of the game when trying to take this guy out. And then he also has the opportunity to turn into another monster after you defeat him, and you do actually need to get both of those enemies added to the bestiary. So you've got a couple opportunities to do that. So once you defeat him, then he might reveal his true form, which is the Jura Avis, and this is another dragon-like enemy that we've seen before. If you have the Flare spell blade on a Mystic Knight, it works pretty well for cutting through their HP quickly. Otherwise, you're just going to have to endure a lot of his attacks. He does like to target the whole party and do some pretty strong magical attacks of the wind nature. But if you can deal with that, then you'll be fine. Entangle will be able to paralyze one of your party members, and that's not so much fun. But ultimately, it's not that difficult. Just a couple of those rapid fires with a Flare spell blade will do wonders on them, and then they'll be gone. Now, there are many of those magicians running around here in the different jail cells. You only need to defeat one of them and get both of the forms here to add to the bestiary. You can skip the other ones, but if you prefer a little bit of genocide, go ahead and take them all out. It's up to you. But we are going to grab that treasure chest in the bottom for a rainbow dress. I did wipe out the other 2 magicians on there, but you can safely walk around the other ones and grab the chest for red slippers. And at the final jail cell with the monster and the woman in it, you can go ahead and fight this monster. You do want to have a couple things before you go into it. Number 1, you want to make sure everyone's floating. And number 2, you want to make sure that you have a summoner who can cast Reflect. And number 3, you want to have someone who can cast Float again. Because this whole monster's thing is that he likes to use ground-based magic like Earthshaker. And he's smart enough to know that if you're floating, then he won't be able to hit you, so then he uses a move called 100 Gs to pull you back down to the ground so that he can hit you. Well, if you're floating and you also cast Reflect on yourself by having a summoner summon Carbuncle, then you can reflect those 100 Gs and it won't hit you anymore. So that makes you very immune to all of his attacks. And then Catastrophe is pretty easy to take down at that point. You can begin to cast Bahamut and do a lot of damage that way. You can use your Mystic Knight with Flare as a spell blade to do lots of damage, especially if you have rapid fire. And at this point, he'll just keep trying to use 100 Gs to pull you to the ground, but he won't be able to do it. And you kind of have him soft locked at this point where he can't hurt you at all, and you can just destroy him as you go. So with your team, just launch all of your strongest attacks, and Catastrophe will not be having a good day, and you'll defeat him in no time. Okay, and then once he's defeated, you can use the Consecrated Circle again if you need to, if you want to heal up and save. Otherwise, you'll go back to that jail cell all the way on the top right, and the woman will come out, And she'll say, "Thank you, I've been locked down here for ages. Here's a little reward for setting me free." Smooch. And she'll run off. Well, let's chase her, and we're going to go up the stairs, and this will take us to a lower bridge that we can walk across. Take the stairs up. Now we can go across this way. There are some new enemies in this area that we can watch out for, but otherwise we're going to be making our way across, and we're going to go back down the other side, and this will take us into a room with the treasure chest in the jail that we could not get before. So there's the man-eater, and now we can go all the way back up. Spend a little time in this courtyard and you will run across these two enemies. It's the ninja and Yojimbo. Yojimbo, you can steal a weapon from him. It's a little bit rare to do that, but it is actually stats-wise a better katana than the legendary Masamune. So if you want to spend a lot of time, you can try to get that one. It's definitely not required though, just a little bit of trivia for you. You can also control the ninja, and you can have it use its attacks against the Yojimbo because it can do things like ring, which is very painful, and it also does things like paralyze, inflict darkness, and poison to one of your characters, and that just happened to Kryle. You can see that. So, yep, you can take care of those enemies a lot of different ways, but just physical attacks to wear them down works pretty well too. Well, now let's go over to the center part of the castle, and we're going to go inside. I did make Ferris into a samurai because we're going to be using the Zeninagi skill a lot moving forward. It's going to be kind of our bread and butter spell moving forward. We'll walk in here, and when you get up to the throne room, try to go to the door. It'll push you away, and do it again. You leave without saying goodbye? How rude. I don't give my kiss of death to just anyone you know. Come here, I'll treat you right. Treat you to a slow death at the hands of the master of this castle, I, Halicarnassus. Okay, we've got Halicarnassus, and this is yet another boss. It will often begin the fight by using Ribbit and turning everyone into a toad. Luckily, I didn't get that with Ferris, but a couple Maiden's Kisses will be enough in order to bring you back. And we're going to use the same trick that we've used on some of the other bosses, and that is our Mystic Knight will use the Silence Spellblade to continually inflict silence upon this boss who likes to cast a lot of magic, and we will just shut her down using this. So there you go, she's now silenced, and we do some pretty good damage against her, and now it just becomes constantly attacking her, and we will be able to take her down. If you have any beneficial status effects, she'll try to dispel them, but if she's silenced, that can't happen either. Reverse polarity will switch the row that you're currently standing in. It's a little bit annoying, but you can just use the row command to put yourself back. And yeah, it's just a matter of time now before we win, because she can't do a whole lot against us. She can do some fairly weak physical attacks, and we'll just keep her silenced the whole time, and we'll wear her down. So I'm going to let it play out, and I will see you on the other side. Alright, there you go, another boss down, thanks to exploiting its status weaknesses. And you can see that we are now a toad, but that's easy to take care of using a Maiden's Kiss. And we will go into this room. This room has a very high chance of spawning a couple monsters that we need. There's the Iron Giant, which gives a lot of experience, so this is a good room to level up. And we also get an enemy called Fury. That's the guy on top there with the big head, looks like an insect. And we'll use Zenanagi to do a whole lot of damage against them. They can try to cast instant death on you, which isn't so nice, so make sure you take them out quickly. Otherwise, we'll just attack with all of our party members, and we will take them out quickly. After you have Fury added to the bestiary, we're going to go up the stairs, and there's a boss right ahead of us, so let's look at what we need. We have a Mystic Knight with Time Magic, a Red Mage with White Magic, a Samurai with Rapid Fire, and a Summoner with Blue Magic. I find that this combination works really well for this fight, and we're going to basically kill him in one hit after a certain point in the fight. So when you're ready, then head on up, and you're going to talk to the boss. That's as far as you go. Beyond here, the power of the void is contained. You shall not enter. Here we have Twintania, and this boss is pretty tough. There's going to be a lot of damage coming your way. Tidal Wave, just like what Leviathan did to us in a previous part, is going to do a lot of damage to us. We'll use Mighty Guard, get that set up, and that will help to prevent a lot of the damage coming our way. We'll have to keep using Kiraga throughout the fight to keep our health up, and it's just really a waiting game with this boss. Because we have to wait until it uses a certain move or a certain phase of the fight before we can use the Break Spellblade to take it out. But I did cast Heiseiga on my whole team, so now we're going a lot faster. We'll use Ruby Light to put up a reflect screen over all of us. Now we're using the Break Spellblade on the Mystic Knight. That will give us the Break enchantment on our sword. So as soon as the boss enters a certain mode coming up, we'll be able to hit it with one attack. Because basically this boss is immune to all sorts of things. It's got like perfect defenses, except for when it lowers its guard later on. And when we fought the Apanda boss, if you were to talk to some of the other books in the room, it would actually hint at that when this boss is preparing for its ultimate attack, it lowers all of its defenses and makes it very weak. So that's the double-edged sword for him. We'll just keep at it. If you have Reflect up, you won't be able to cure in the traditional sense, so you can use White Wind to keep your health up during this whole time, but Reflect is able to bounce some of its nastier attacks back at it. Like this Mega Flare right now, and that would probably wipe out our whole team if it hit us. So Reflect is very important for this fight. That's why having a Summoner is very good for it. If your health starts to get low, you can always use items on the person who knows White Wind so that they can get their HP back, because of course White Wind's healing is based on your current HP at the time that it was cast. So you want them to have full HP so that they can help fill up everyone's too. Other than that, we're just going to kind of wait around. We can use some attacks, like using Rapid Fire if you want to. It's not really necessary because none of those numbers matter when it comes to being able to just petrify the boss later on. And we're just waiting around for our opportunity now. Make sure that you keep your health up high, because this boss does throw out a lot of damage toward you. Yeah, there's a double tidal wave right there. That's a lot of damage, so make sure that you are keeping up on things. If your reflect screen goes down, you can start to use Kiraga again to keep your health high. And you can see it says powering up for Giga Flare. That's the opportunity that we've been waiting for. hit it with your Mystic Knight if they have the break Spellblade, and the boss goes down just like that. So wait for that Giga Flare. As soon as you see that little pop up on the top of your screen, go ahead, hit it, and the fight's yours. Once the boss is down, a new stairway is available for you, and you can head on up. And going into the green light will teleport you all the way into the void. Now, this is the last part of this final dungeon, but we're not going to spend a lot of time here yet because there is a trophy for getting every character to level 50 or above. And every enemy in this part of the dungeon gives 0 experience points when you're fighting in it. So very pointless to try to keep fighting in this area. If you want to level up, you actually have to go back to the previous area. So that's what we're going to do. Step off the platform and back onto it, and we'll go back down. And what we want to do is go back down into the courtyard area. And you can head on down and outside. And now what we're really going to do is farm enemies in this area, and we're going to focus on using Zenanagi. If you use Rapid Fire, it does work pretty well if your characters are pretty strong. We're close to level 50 already, but we're really going to focus on using Zenanagi to do the most damage possible. I would also strongly recommend you go into the boost setting. It's in the configuration menu, and you can increase the amount of experience that you have to 4 times, and that will save you a lot of time. So one Zenanagi took out all those enemies. We got 32,800 experience for just those couple seconds in that battle. And we'll do that again. Here's another 4 enemies. We'll use one Zenanagi and take them all out. So we're getting lots of experience every single time that we do that.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So about 15 or so minutes later, we're at this point here where we have one more fight. We can use Zenanagi. It's also a very good idea to put on your Gil multiplier so that you can get a lot of money as you're doing this too, because Zenanagi uses your money as you use it. And there you go. We have the Seasoned Hero trophy pop for that. We now have all of our characters to level 50 or above. You can keep farming here if you want to. Every level that you get only makes the rest of the game easier. But you don't need to do that a whole lot. I'm going to end this game right around level 53 or so, because we're going to go into this final dungeon and not really gain many more experience points for here. But if you have the 4 times ABP modifier on, then you'll save a lot of time working toward getting all of your characters up to mastering all of their jobs. You really only need 1 character to get all the jobs mastered for the trophy, but having all 4 of them is also very beneficial. When you come across these King Behemoths in this final part of the dungeon, then you'll want to use a Mystic Knight's ability to have their Spellblade, and we're going to put Break on there again, and then take out these enemies with just 1 attack. And you can see Rapid Fire actually hit both of them, and they were both petrified, and the battle's over. So we got lots of Gil, lots of ABP here, 132 for that fight, but no experience. Grab the chest all the way on the right side before continuing on. And we're going to go down the stairs on the left. And when you go up the next set of stairs in the linear path, you'll find a very familiar friend here, or enemy. It's hard to tell which one. Make sure that you have a thief. That's the most important part of this, because we're going to be doing a little bit of stealing. Here we have Gilgamesh. After he's been sent to the void, we can steal the Genji shield. Have at thee, vile beast. At this point, Gilgamesh doesn't remember us at all, but he's very easy to take out. So once you steal that Genji shield, then your best bet is just to use your strong physical attacks at this point. You can use Hastega to make your team go a little bit faster. Otherwise, just attack this enemy, do a little bit of damage. I throw some money at him with Zenanagi, and that will pretty much end this fight. Wait a minute, Bart's? Zounds, this is no beast, just Bart's. You should have said something. I don't like it here, you know? Creepy monsters lurk around every corner, and I can't find the way out. Cripes, I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. Anyway, how did you get here? Or rather, how did you get out of here? Oh, just go that way. I see. Let us egress post-haste. When we're out of here, what say we have a few spectacular adventures together, just us 5. Oh yes, I forgot, you've got that whole saving the world thing going on. Phooey. Well, if you make it out safely... Nah, no ifs about it. I'm certain we'll meet again. And when we do, I hope you'll consider me, never mind. Haha. Hasta la bye-bye. And there goes Gilgamesh. He moved aside, so now we can step in this teleporter and we can go on to the next part here. So head on up and we're going to go to the right. There's another treasure chest right on our path. We're going to run into the Belphegor enemies. A little Zenanagi does wonders against them. Won't kill them in one hit, but then following that up with a rapid fire should be enough to take out these enemies. The treasure chest on our path has a Fuma Shuriken in it, and then we'll head down the stairs and to the left, walking under the overpass, and then continue the linear path around. You can go down these stairs to grab another treasure chest with an elixir, and then head on up and step into the teleporter. This next area shows you a treasure chest right away, but you're not going to open that right now because that holds a Superboss inside of it that we're not ready to fight. Throw some money at the Mind Flayers and they're gone in one hit. That's very easy. And 140 ABP for our efforts there. And we get the Lead Operator trophy. We got mastered jobs with Kryl for that. Make sure too that as you're very quickly mastering your jobs, that you're switching them out as well. It is very important so that you're not just wasting time with all this ABB coming in. You should be mastering jobs every couple of fights. So it's very good. And I definitely recommend having as many people with Zenanagi as possible, just so that you can kill all the enemies very quickly in here. And with all the money that you're making for the 4x Gil modifier on, you won't be running out of money like you typically would be. So that quality of life change in the PlayStation version is very, very nice for doing this part. So we're just moving people's jobs around, making sure that they do have Zenanagi whenever possible. So it is good to try to master the samurai jobs first on people, and then you can always have that as the secondary ability no matter what the job is. Okay, when you're ready to go, let's keep on moving then, and we're going to go up and continue around. Again, we will not get that treasure chest, but we will go around it and then take the path to the left when you get to the intersection. Here's a Crystal and a Mind Flayer. We've fought these Crystals before. They look like one of the bosses that we fought in the Forest of Moor, but they go down in one Zenanagi, so that makes it pretty easy. Grab this treasure chest here. This is another Fuma Shuriken. And continue heading this time toward the right. And when you go around, there's a teleporter. But we do need to farm one more monster in this encounter. This is a Crystal Dragon. They are a little bit tougher. They will take a few Zenanagis to eliminate. But they're not all that dangerous when we can do so much damage to them every single turn. And once he's gone, we get 40,000 gil and 128 ABP. And now walk around and into the teleporter. So from here, we're going to just follow the path around. On the left side, all the way over there, there's a little green sparkly. That's a boss, so we're not going to deal with him just yet. Instead, we're going to fight a Gorgamera and this King Behemoth. 2 Zenonagis should be enough to take down the Gorgamera, and 3 Zenonagis will take out the King Behemoth. We don't need to worry about using the Break Spell Blade anymore. We can just do it kind of in one turn now from each of our party members. Okay, let's keep walking around. We'll look for a few more monsters here before we continue. So we have a Necromancer, that's the enemy up front. Go ahead and, of course, use some Zenonagi, and they're gone. Okay, at this point we're going to go over to this boss here. Make sure that you have a thief again, because we're going to do a little bit more stealing from this one. So either have a thief or have someone who just knows the steal ability, but having a thief with Zenonagi is also very effective for this. So once you've saved, go ahead and talk to the spot. This light will never fall into your hands. And this is the Necrophobe with 4 barriers. Ha ha ha, with these barriers I've achieved invincibility. Do you really believe you can defeat me? Well, Zenonagi can do wonders against his little barriers, so throw some money at it, and they'll be gone with just a couple of them. My barriers of invincibility! You've left me with no choice. Have a taste of my true power. It's all you can eat. He can use Flash, which is a little annoying because it inflicts darkness on everyone. However, using Zenonagi does not actually require any accuracy at all. We'll still hit him every single time with that. So continue to do that. He does have some pretty strong attacks like Vacuum Wave, which can almost one-shot a character, especially if they're at low health. But through this, just keep healing your characters, keep using Zenonagi, and eventually the battle will change a little bit, and we will get a familiar friend to help us. Gilgamesh. Am I fashionably late to the party? Why, hello there. Surprised to see me? Ha, if I'd left you in the lurch, I'd look like a jerk for all of history. As if I'd let that happen. You've got a big mouth. If you're so eager to fight, then you can be the first to die. So now Necrophobe will start attacking Gilgamesh instead of us, which is kind of convenient. So we can take this time to heal Bartz, and we can fight him if we want to. Want to bet on that? Do your worst, buddy. You can't even hold a birthday candle to the blazing flame of my winning spirit. Gryle, your grandfather was a pretty strong guy. Grandpa. And you, Ferris, try falling in love, or something. You might learn a thing or two about yourself. Once Gilgamesh shows up to battle in this one, you make sure that you steal, and you can actually get the Genji armor off of him, and that's the final piece of Genji armor that we need, or Genji gear, I should say. Lena! You're always so caring towards animals. Never lose that pure heart of yours. And Bartz. I wanted to fight you one more time. Mano a mano, of course. You have admirable companions. I envy you. Gilgamesh. Enough of this! Die! Oh. I believe that's my line! And he'll use self-destruct to take out Necrophobe. There goes our buddy Gilgamesh. In the end, he wasn't such a bad guy. With that out of the way, we get a new consecrated circle. So go ahead and use it as you see fit. You can, of course, remove your blindness. You can use a cottage to heal up. And at this point, before we proceed, we're going to go ahead and master all of the jobs for all of our characters. Again, we only need to master all of them on one character in order to get the trophy. But at that point, we'll be very close to getting all the jobs on all the characters. And what that does is it actually gives bonuses to the freelancer job, which we'll be using for the end. So you do want to master all the jobs as you go. So when you're ready, then we'll just be running around in here, and we can do a save. Just make sure that we're all good to go. We don't want any snags with that. And we'll just start running around this area, and hopefully we'll find this enemy called Mover. You do need to add this to the bestiary. It does require a few Zenonagis, and it is absolutely amazing when you are able to kill them. They do disappear. They run away from battle after a couple turns, so you do want to kill them very quickly. So haste is good, otherwise just smack them with the Zenonagi a couple times and they should be gone. And for that you get 600,000 gil and 796 ABP if you have the 4x multiplier on both of those. You can see Bart's went from a level 0 white mage all the way to mastering it in just one fight. So everyone's mastered all of their jobs in this fight. So movers are very good for leveling up all of your jobs. And at this point, we're just going to keep running around in this area. You can always use a tent or something at the consecrated circle if you need to heal, but all the enemies should be dying very quickly thanks to Zenonagi. And with all the money that you're getting, you'll never run out of it, so it's kind of an infinite source of free experience and AP and gil for this. So here we are coming to the close of all of that. We'll just use Zenonagi on these enemies and take them out. And now you can see that Lena has mastered Equip Ribbons. That's the last thing that she needed to. And we get the Management Laborer trophy for getting one character all the way through all of their jobs. So Lena is now a mastered dancer, but she's also mastered all of her jobs, including the freelancer, which gets mastered when everything else has been mastered. So that's very good. We can equip the freelancer. Freelancer can equip any weapon at all, and they can also equip all the equipment for that, so they're very handy for having on your team, and they get all of the secondary bonuses too from the jobs. So very handy to have on your team once you've mastered all the other jobs. They are much stronger now than when we started with them at the beginning of the game. So here we have some more movers. They're going to do great things for us, and we're going to get all of our characters leveling up their jobs again. And at this point, now everyone has mastered every job, and that's really good for us, so we can turn everyone into a freelancer, and we're able to equip a couple different skills to them. The Mime is able to equip 3 skills, so that's also a good opportunity for you. But with a freelancer getting bonuses to their different stats for all the jobs that they've got mastered, it just makes them a little bit better, in my opinion, than what the Mime can do, even though they do lose a slot for assigning skills. You can use the Consecrated Circle to heal up, and then we're going to do a little bit of item management here for the next fight. So in the items menu, you're going to want to make sure that people are healed of any status effects. So I took away the zombie status from Kryl. Now we're going to sort the items in a certain way, and we're going to make sure that the first 4 items are set up properly. So we're going to put eye drops in the top row straight across from a dragon fang. And then in the second row, we're going to put a turtle shell, and that will be right across from the holy water here. So eye drops and dragon fang, turtle shell, and holy water. Also make sure you have the magic lamp. We got that from Istri Falls a long time ago, and we're going to use it in the final battle. But other than that, we should be all set. Let's look at the jobs. Everyone's a freelancer. Bartz has rapid fire and blue magic. Lena has rapid fire and white magic. Ferris has time magic and mix. And Kryl has spellblade and summon. And this is going to be very handy. Also, I would definitely recommend giving the person who has time magic and mix the Mazamune as their weapon, and that will allow them to act first, because in this boss we need to do something very quickly at the beginning of the fight to put it into our favor. So once you're all set up, then we're going to head back down through the teleporter, and in this area we're going to work our way around. And now we can go down by that chest that we haven't opened before. And we're going to show you here. Here's the Mazamune equipped, as well as the ribbon. And everyone has a ribbon at this point. Again, the time magic and the mix, very important, because we're going to begin the battle by using quick. And then we're going to mix a couple things to inflict some statuses on the boss. So make sure that no one has holy weapons either, because this boss will absorb holy. So if you have things like the Holy Lance, the Excalibur, just put something else on. Doesn't really matter. The coral rings that everyone has is for absorbing some of the water attacks this boss has, but it's not a really big deal either, because we're not going to get hit by that. So begin the battle with the Mazamune giving you first shot. We're going to use the time magic quick. Now we're going to mix the eye drops with the Dragon Fang to use Dark Sai, that blinds him. And then we're going to mix up the Turtle Shell with the Holy Water to use Bacchus' Cider, and now he's berserked. So we have a boss who can only use physical attacks, but he's blinded, so he won't be hitting as much. Summon in Golem, just in case this boss does end up hitting you. Golem can absorb those attacks, and that's very helpful for us. And now what we can do is we can use Mighty Guard, that will lessen the damage that comes our way as well, and also gives us float, so we've got another layer of protection for us. And then we can use Hastega once we get another turn with our Time Mage, and now we're set up pretty well. We can use Flare Spellblade to get a lot more damage coming with our attacks. So now every time Kryl's turn comes around, I can have her attack, and she'll do a lot of damage. Otherwise, we're just using rapid fire and normal attacks. We don't have to use magic attacks at all for this whole battle, because it'll go down pretty quickly. You can see big damage with the crit, and huge damage as well from Kryl. He did get an attack off on Kryl, but Golem absorbed it, so that definitely saved Kryl's life there. And at this point, it's just a matter of time. He can't really do a whole lot to us. And one final Flare Spellblade, and he's gone. And we get the Dragon Seal as a reward for that. And the chest also contained Ragnarok. And we get the Legendary Treasure Hunter trophy, because we now have all 100% of the treasure chests. And we get the Ultimate Dragon trophy for beating Shinryu. The Ragnarok is the strongest sword in the game. It's very good, so make sure that you equip that on someone. But now it's time to go finish off the final boss of this game. So we're going to head back up toward that consecrated circle where we did all of our leveling up our jobs, and we can give it a quick save right here, and we will work our way back up this way. And now we can step into this circle, and that will teleport us to the end of the dungeon. It's a very long stairwell going north of you, so you can take that up when you're ready. Looking at the abilities, it's pretty similar. We have Zenonagi in blue magic on Bart's. Lena has Zenonagi in white magic. Time magic and Zenonagi for Ferris. And Spellblade with summon on Kryl. So once you're all good, you can see that Zenonagi is once again going to be very useful for us. Equipment-wise, I did give Hermes sandals to everyone, just so that they have a speed boost. They also have ribbons for preventing any status elements coming our way, and then just legendary weapons on people. The Enhancer Sword on Kryl is very good, especially if you're going to be using spell blades and things on her with Flare. Okay, so head on up, and you can find Exdeath. You are too late. Mwahaha! Finally, it is in my grasp. The greatest power ever known, that which can control the universe, the power of the void. I will crush all who stand in my way. I think I'll begin with your precious friends. I hope you'll enjoy watching them get sucked into the void. Stop it! Let them go! Mwahaha! And now you too will meet your end inside the void. Bartz, stand up. Dad? Zat, Kelger? Grandpa! Galuf! Enter the Dawn Warriors. Bartz, Lena, Ferris, Kryl. We'll hold off the void. You kids, take care of Exdeath. The only ones who can save the world from the power of darkness are the Warriors of Light. That's you. Now go! What? Why is the power of the void disappearing? No matter. Now take this! Father! Papa! Now! This is it! Take your chance! Destroy Exdeath! Onward, warriors of light! When you're ready, go talk to the tree. Exdeath, you'd better get ready, because here we come! And the very intimidating Exdeath, whatever this is supposed to look like, we'll fight it the way that we have fought other things in the past, and that's by throwing a lot of coins at it. He is susceptible to slow if you can get it to stick. It might not, but otherwise we'll start throwing money at it. We can use Golem's Earthen Wall to absorb some attacks if it uses physical attacks against us. Mighty Guard's always a good choice too for lessening the damage coming your way. Other than that, just keep using Zenanagi to do a ton of damage to it. You can use the Flare Spell Blade to do lots of damage that way if you prefer. Doesn't really matter. You don't need money anymore for this, so Zenanagi is perfectly fine and viable to use because you never have to worry about running out of it. Exdeath was engulfed by the void. No! Why? The void was mine to command. How could it? Grah! So after a few turns of Zenanagi or Flare attacks using your Mystic Knight skills, he'll be gone and he will get replaced, and Exdeath will turn into Neo Exdeath. I am Neo Exdeath. All memories, dimensions, existence, all that is shall be returned to nothing. Then I too can disappear. Forever! In Phase 2 of this battle, we will keep all of the buffs that we got during Phase 1, so we're still all buffed up just the way that we were. And there are 4 different parts of Neo Exdeath. One thing that you can do is you can use the Break Spell Blade on the bottom portion of the bottom right one, and that will do instant kill damage to that one because it's susceptible to Petrify. So do that. If you have the magic lamp, start using it. The third time you use the magic lamp in battle here, it will summon Odin, who will be able to instant kill the part all the way in the back, which really just will leave you with 2 parts to kill, the top right part and the middle part. And you never want to kill off one part entirely, because then the last part that remains will start hitting with very strong attacks. So you want to kill them both at the same time. And that's really where Zenanagi shines, because it always attacks all enemies for the same amount of damage. So we were able to kill off the bottom right part using the Break Spell Blade. We're going to get Odin to finish off the part way in the back. When it says the laws of the universe are in chaos, it's powering up to use one of its strongest attacks. So just brace yourself for that. Make sure that everyone has a lot of HP, because you don't want to get killed at this point in the fight. And we'll just continue to use our Zenanagis. Here's Odin coming in with the third use of that magic lamp. It instant kills the part in the back. So now we just have the 2 parts that it showed miss on. And we're just going to keep attacking it. We're going to put Flare back on as a spell blade because we don't need Break anymore for that. And we'll just keep attacking it, and within just a couple minutes it's going to be dead. And this is a pretty easy final boss, especially compared to some of the other Final Fantasy end bosses. And that's it. Neo Exdeath is dead. Now all that's left is a whole lot of cutscenes. So I'll talk through some of them a little bit, but I'll also just let them play out. And if you want to skip ahead to the end, you can totally do that. I'll provide instructions very soon in exactly what point of this video to skip to if you just want to see that Platinum Trophy pop. In the beginning, there was only the void. But from the void came four essences. They formed the crystals, and the world was born. Hope blessed the earth, courage blazed with flame, devotion turned water into seeds of life, passion for knowledge spread wisdom on the winds. If ever the void threatened to engulf the world, so long as the four essences still exist in mankind, light will be born anew. It is from the void that the four essences will rise, and once again they will shine bright. The void is still here. But why? We beat Exdeath. Is it because the crystals are all gone? Will the world be engulfed by the void? Hope, bless the earth. Courage, light the fires. Devotion, breathe life into the waters. Passion, spread knowledge on the winds. The world, it's being reborn. And the crystals as well. There was still power left in the crystal shards. Thank goodness. Lena, Ferris, Kryl. It's because you took such good care of the shards. You did a pretty good job yourself, Bartz. Don't forget Grandpa! Now the wind will return to Tycoon. Correct, my dear. Dad! Grandpa! Father! Papa! Kelgar, Zazat! The world still needs you. It's far too soon for you kids to be joining us. Go, return to your world, the one you saved. Grandpa! A letter's arrived. Dear Sid and Mid, how are you? It's me, Kryl. Somehow we made it back alive. The final battle feels like it was just a bad dream. Since then, I've traveled all over. Everything seems so peaceful now, like it was before. The Chancellor of Tycoon seems quite happy. However, Ferris seems worried about her pirate crew. Everyone in Ball is worried since they have no heir to the throne. Maybe I'll be queen. Yeah, in my dreams. But it would be pretty cool though. Bartz went back to his hometown. He's not giving up traveling, but he said he wanted to spend time near his parents before he set out again. Oh, Boko and Coco had their chicks. Baby chocobos are the cutest. You simply must go see them. It's been a year since then. Lena and Ferris are busy running Tycoon, and Bartz is off on another of his journeys. I think I'll go back to that place, to where Grandpa's resting. If any of the others happens to drop by... No, I'm sure they'll come. Tell them I can't wait to meet up again. Kryle, you did an outstanding job. You all did. If Grandpa hadn't saved me back then... The crystals have been restored, and everything's peaceful, but for some reason, I'm sad. I guess it's just that, since Grandpa died, I've been all alone. See you, Grandpa. What are you talking about? You're not alone. We're here with you. Buck up, kiddo. Everyone's here. You all made it. As if there was any doubt, like I'd forget about a friend after everything we went through. Everyone, you. There's no need for tears, Kryl. This is the time to be strong. If Galuf were here, he'd laugh at your blubbering, kiddo. You're right. He's probably laughing right now. The crystals have regained their power. This time, it's up to us to protect them. Like Dad and the others did. Say, do you hear that? Aye, that I do. Grandpa's voice? No, just the wind blowing through the trees. Or the rippling of water? Or the crackling of a fire? Or the shifting of the earth? Dunno. I'm not sure what it is, but I can hear it. Yes, it feels warm somehow. Let's go. Alright, all that's left is to get our final trophies, so use this option to save a completed data file, and then our trophies will start to pop. Field Research Professional for getting all 100% of the Bestiary entries. 4 Hearts Together for defeating Neo Exdeath and returning the world to the way it's supposed to be. And the Master of 5 trophy, that's the Platinum trophy, because we got all the other trophies out there. Well, there you have it. That is the end of our Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster Platinum Trophy walkthrough. We did it, guys. We got that Platinum Trophy. It has been absolutely amazing getting this trophy with you and working through all of this. I hope that you found this series to be enlightening and entertaining at the same time. I really did enjoy doing all of this for you. I do have a favor to ask, though, is I really wanted to get up to 100 subscribers by the end of this series. We're just a little shy of that right now, so if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Also, leave a like for me on this video, and also leave me a comment to let me know what your favorite part of this series has been. Tried some new things with it, and I just want to always be improving as well. So a big thank you to everyone who has watched this series and also give me lots of likes and comments. I really do appreciate that as we're trying to grow this channel into something great that's of benefit for everybody. Well, that's going to do it for this series. I will see you in Final Fantasy IV. That's the next series that we're going to do. And as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.